Hello, this is Begin the Slaughter, and I am Murder Who. Yesterday, I didn't make a devlog. That's because the only thing I accomplished yesterday was making the forage region. It's steady progress, and it's important, but in the end, I'm just showing you a few 3D models I made and arranged. So I wanted to wait a bit more until I had a bit more to show for a devlog. I also tried to diagnose my framing issues again yesterday, but after tweaking a lot of values, I didn't have a solution. Today I made the next region, the tenements, and I also compiled Godot from source with debug symbols, used an actual functioning profiler, and discovered the other 30 milliseconds per frame of engine time that Godot was hiding from me. Boys, 'twas an easy fix. The best fucking kind there is. Animation was taking up more than 90% of my process time. This is easily fixed by disabling animation when it's unneeded. I already have a quick physics fix, which drops into fast physics mode when actors are far from the player. I simply added the animation disabling on top of that. Now, before I said that as long as the GPUs are operating below 16 milliseconds per frame, that's 60 frames per second, the visuals are good. That's because I was mistaken on how much process time matters. That's where mouse movement is parsed into camera movement. A low process time feels like a much lower frame rate than what you get to screen if your mouse updates half as often. Godot also actually claims that it only shows as many frames as you can get with the process frame. But in my experience, if you improve your visual processing, you do get a smoother picture even if your process frame in total still takes a large amount of time. Optimization and new region aside, I also made some fixes to player movement tech. For example, you can ungrip something while attacking things to a misplaced if statement. Fixed some old control maps which had artifacts in them. Fixed the ragdolls, and finished fixing the mines. The enemy ragdolls were always meant to launch away from you when you killed them, but they would extend into infinity and freeze the game dead sometimes. So, I completely remade the physical skeleton, re-examined how I was adding velocity, played around with different joints, and now enemy bodies ragdoll better without expanding into infinity. The mines had just a few more bugs in my way. One was that I was connecting all of one region before moving on to the next region, and making the other region connector that would connect to the first. Whoops. That just required ending one for loop and then opening an identical one, so that all of the first for loop ended before the second began. That's all it needed. Another one was that in attempting to swap two variables using a third temporary variable, I was instead getting two copies of the second variable. There's some kind of reference versus value thing going on there. Don't care, easy to fix just by using a couple more variables. Instead of using var temp is equal to variable 1 is equal to variable 2 is equal to temp, what you do is you say you have, variable 1 and variable 2, just declare them. If these are conditions, then variable 1 is equal to the first thing, variable 2 is equal to the second thing, else variable 2 is equal to the first one, variable 1 is equal to the second one. I don't understand why the first version didn't work, but hey, here we are. And the last one was for me forgetting that the sign function can return 0. Yep, so I was just not checking some directions sometimes because I had zeroed out my my distance checking array. Oops. So between all those, I should be able to actually finish the mines region tomorrow. As mentioned before, I only have a few things to do there in terms of reduplicating waypoints, making a new pathfinding system, and making a new human script that is able to deal with all of that and doesn't try to snap itself to the terrain when it's in the mines. Alright, if all goes according to plan, then I should be finishing the third and final boss on Sunday, along with the rest of the final region, and then I can begin to work on vital game functions and polish. Like a main menu, being able to die, map icons for crystals and upgrades, sound effects that aren't complete ass, an options menu, better enemy AI, and all the things I haven't gotten around to yet, which is a very long list. Alright, that's enough for today. Thanks for watching, and remember to wishlist on Steam.